Alright, here we go. The last video for 1-3. We're going to finish up talking about equivalent rational numbers. Just a reminder of the learning objectives that we've covered in these last 7 videos. You should already have these. So now what we're going to do is we're going to write and compare ratios in decimal form. So just as fractions can be written in decimal form, ratios can be written in fraction form, so they can also be written as decimals. Now we will look at how to write a ratio as a decimal. So how do we do that? First of all, we write it as a fraction, and then we do what we've done in the past to get the fraction into a decimal. So we're going to write the ratio 1-4 in decimal form. Okay, so we've got our ratio of 1-4. Okay. We can turn that into a fraction, 1/4. And then from here, we change it into a decimal. Top divided by bottom, 4 doesn't go into 1. But if I change it and add a 0 and a decimal, 4 goes into 10 twice. 4 times 2 is 8, subtract it away. 4 doesn't go into 2, so we need to add another 0. 4 goes into 25 times. 4 times 5 is 20. Subtract it away, I get my 0. So the ratio of 1-4 is equal to 0.25. Okay, so next we're going to write the ratio 9-5 in decimal form. Go ahead and pause the video, write it as a decimal, and then go ahead and hit play and see how you did. Okay, so first thing we would do is take the ratio 9-5 and rewrite it as a fraction, 9/5. Then over here I'd take 9 divided by 5, 9 goes into 5 once, or 5 goes into 9 once, sorry. Subtract the 5 away and I get 4. 5 doesn't go into 4, so I add the decimal and a 0, bring the 0 down. 5 goes into 40 8 times. 8 times 5 is 40, subtract it away, I get my 0, so I'm done with that. So my ratio of 9-5 is equal to 1.8. Okay, so now we're going to compare ratios, which means we're going to use the greater than, less than, or equal to. Okay, so we've got 6-10, and we've got 1-4. Okay, 6-10, I write that as a fraction, 6/10. Okay, I can simplify it if I want to, so I can bring it down to 3/5. Okay, so now I'm going to take that, and I'm going to take 3 divided by 5. 5 doesn't go into 3, so I add the decimal. 5 goes into 36 times. 6 times 5 is 30. Subtract it away, and I get my 0. Okay, so 6-10 is equal to 0.6. Okay, we just did the ratio 1-4, and we know that that's 0.25. So really, we're comparing 0.6 to 0.25. Okay, and so 0.6 is greater than 0.25 because 6 is greater than 2. So therefore, I could say that the ratio of 6-10 is greater than the ratio of 1-4. Okay, so we've got a word problem here. Elena and Jake have a box with only 2 colors of marbles in it. There are 28 blue marbles and 16 gray marbles in the box. Elena says that the ratio of gray marbles to blue marbles is 16-28. Jake says that the ratio of gray marbles to blue marbles is 4-7. Who is correct, or are they both correct? They also want to find out the ratio of gray marbles to the total number of marbles in the box. Okay, so they want to go from gray to blue. So we want to go from gray to blue. So 16 gray to 28 blue. Yeah, that's our ratio right there. So we know between Elena and Jake, we already know that Elena is correct, 16-28. So now we have to see if Jake's 4-7 is also correct. Well, if we look to get it to be equal there, I multiply both numbers by 4. 4 times 4 is 16, 7 times 4 is 28. I get that Jake's ratio is equivalent to 16-28. So Jake is also correct. So they are both correct. Okay. Now the second part of this, they want to know gray to total. So first of all, we have to figure out how many total marbles there are. There's 28 blue and 16 gray. I add those together and I get 44. So if I want to go gray to total, there are 16 gray, 44 total. So 16 to 44. If I wanted to simplify that out, I could take a 4 out of both of those and do 4 to 11. So now we can finally finish the real life example. Okay, so go ahead and read through this and see how you did from all the way back from the first video. Here's just a review of all of the topics we covered in 1-3. Make sure you have these terms down, make sure you know what they mean, and make sure you'll be able to use them as needed.